Hello everybody and welcome. In this week's video I am talking about the gear in my bag for 2022. I'm always switching out gear, finding the best stuff, so I wanted to just make one guide here for the beginning of 2022 with the updated gear that I'm using, include some links down below, talk about a few of the items just so that I can push people forward to this video if they want to see what I use, or if you have any questions like that you can ask them down in the comments. So I just want to talk about all of the things that I use. Let's go ahead and look at the pack and the things that go on the outside first, and then we'll dive into some of the stuff inside, some of the cameras, lenses, stuff like that. So first things first, I've got this f-stop Dura Diamond pack. I will include a link to it down below. These are pretty new packs. I just recently got it and I've really liked it so far. It's got lots of pockets, lots of outside stuff. The outside is really rugged so it can get thrown around pretty well. Let's go ahead and look at what's inside on a few of the pockets. I also love having all these straps on the outside. We've got straps on the side. You can strap a ton of stuff on this bag. I could put skis, I could put all different sorts of stuff on this bag, and inside this bag there's tons of room, including for my camera. So first things first, inside this pocket here is where I keep my first aid kit. I've got a pretty big first aid kit to cover pretty much anything that I could possibly need. That's all that I have there in the front of my pack, is just the first aid kit. If you're interested about what's in that first aid kit or how to make your own first aid kit, I'd be happy to link you to a couple articles I wrote, but it is a little bit outside the scope of this YouTube channel to cover what's in the first aid kit. So that is what goes in the front pocket there, is the first aid kit. And I like it because you've got this big pocket in the front, which on previous packs that I've had, I haven't had this big pocket. So it's really nice to have that pocket right there. Let's go over to the top. Now the top pocket, I can fit a fair amount of things in here. And I have a few different things. First of all, in this very top pocket, I've got my Garmin InReach. This allows me to do a little bit of messaging if I need to when I have no service, or hit the SOS button if I hurt myself and need some help. So I've got that in the top pocket here. And then the rest of this pocket is pretty much all dedicated to small stuff. So I've got these little neck gaiters here. These are really nice to put over your head when it's cold. You can see it's just kind of like a tube here. You can wear them as a bandana. You can do a lot of different things. I've got this one, which is more meant for weather that's not as cold. And then I also have a fleece one here. I usually use this one around my neck. It's really nice to just put around your neck and stay warm. Then we've got some gloves. I've got a pair of these gloves. These gloves are pretty cool because you put your hands through and it's kind of like a mitten at the top. You've even got a thumb hole here, and you can flip these down. So when I want to operate my camera, I can flip it down just like this, operate my camera, and then while I'm standing there waiting, which if you've done a lot of landscape photography, you know you do a lot of waiting, I can go ahead and flip these back up and stay warm here. And it's nice to keep my hands warm. These are a little bit thicker gloves as well. So I've got those. Again, I'll link all of this stuff down below. And then I also have these Columbia gloves. These are just your basic liner gloves. You could really get them from any company, but these ones are Columbia, and they're just little liner gloves, so really nice to have. Now, lastly, I have this Coast headlamp here, and I absolutely love Coast headlamps. So much better than so many other headlamp brands that I've tried. This one in particular has settings for both a red and a green light, as well as 3 different settings for the bulb, and then you can twist this to make the bulb more centered or more wide. So lots of different options here. It also has a rechargeable battery. I can recharge that right here with a USB. So really nice. I love Coast for headlamps. I will link this headlamp, of course, down below. Highly recommend Coast. Really great company. I know the customer service is really good, and I really, really love Coast. Also going on the outside of my bag is this slick carbon fiber tripod. I've got 2 different tripods. This is the smaller of the 2. It's the carbon fiber 633. I also have a carbon fiber 833, but your video that is currently being recorded is on that 833 tripod, so I can't show you that. But I love this 633 tripod for those times when I need something that's really lightweight to hike with and go a long ways. I bring this thing backpacking. Super light. The ball head is super simple that I have on this. This is the SBH 180DS ball head. It's got 1 knob, that is it. Super lightweight, super simple. And this tripod also, one thing I really like, has this huge long neck piece, so you can actually get it pretty high up. Of course, it is a lighter weight tripod, so it's not going to be super sturdy in really high winds, but that's why I've got the 833 tripod as well, which is essentially the same thing, just the thicker version of this tripod. Love slick tripods. I will include my discount code down below, so you can get a little discount if you do want to purchase a slick tripod. They're really nice. No complaints. Simple, straightforward, and affordable. That's what I love about slick tripods. All right, now let's dive into the inside of my pack here. where I've got all of the goodies. So you can see lots of stuff in here. First and foremost, I have a Sony a7R IV. Right now I've got the Tamron 17-28 f2.8 lens. We'll start with the Sony. I love it. It's 62 or 63 odd megapixels. Really, really nice. Takes huge files. I love it. Really great low light, and just can't say enough good things about this camera. The battery's been redesigned from some of the older models, so the battery lasts a little bit longer. So no complaints about the camera. Now the Tamron lenses, so nice. I love them because they're lightweight. They're f2.8, so they're great for astrophotography. Really nice and low light, super lightweight, and that's what's really most important to me, is they're lightweight and packable. I do a lot of backpacking, and I want lightweight gear that's very packable, and this definitely meets that standard. So I also have the Tamron 28-75 f2.8. These two lenses pair really well together. So with these two lenses combined, I get the range of 17-28 and then 28-75. So I'm completely covered from wide angle to mid-range. Works really well. This one again is really light. It's also f2.8, great for night photos. Pretty much identical lenses, just different focal lengths, and I love both of them. Now for those times where I do want a little more range, I've got the Sony 70-300. It's a variable aperture f4.5 to 5.6. This is a really nice lens. I love it because it goes 70-300. The 70-200 might be a little bit higher quality, but I like having that extra 100 millimeters of range to get me out to 300. I don't notice any quality issues with this thing. Honestly, it takes amazing photos. Just really great lens overall. It is a little bit heavy, so when I do go backpacking, I do have a little bit lighter telephoto lens. It's actually a Tamron 28-200. I don't have it with me. I only use it when I'm backpacking, but that lens is what I use to replace this when I go backpacking, because this one is a little bit of a beast. It is pretty heavy. And also in here, I've got my Sony a7R II. It's my old camera, but I do keep it with me because I do oftentimes shoot multiple different compositions. I love having it. It's 40 megapixels. The battery life is kind of crummy on this one compared to the a7R IV, but other than that, no complaints on this camera. I love having it with me just in case anything happens to my a7R IV, or if I want to shoot a second composition. You can see I've got multiple lenses, so I can just pop them right on and I'm ready to go, ready to shoot. So I've got this one in my bag with me always as well. Now also in here you can see I've got some lens hoods here. These are just a few different lens hoods for various lenses. I don't use them very often, but I put them in there. They don't really weigh much. They don't take up much space, so I do keep those lens hoods in for times where I might be shooting into the sun. I've also got this here, which is a shutter release. It's a remote. Really nice for night photos, for long exposures, for time lapses, whatever. I don't use it as much as I probably should, but I do have it in my bag for those times when I do want to use it. I've also got this here, which is my filter case. Got all sorts of different filters in here. These are all Hoya filters. I love Hoya filters, and we'll include a discount code down below if you want to purchase some of their filters. In my bag, though, I keep a couple ND filters. It looks like here I've got a 5-stop, and I've got a 10-stop, and I have a circular polarizer in 2 different sizes. So I don't use the NDs very often, but I do use the polarizers quite frequently. They're really, really nice to have. Polarizers are awesome in almost any situation where you're shooting around water. Down in this lower right corner, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I've got some lens cloths, and I've got a little rocket blower here. Must have for a landscape photographer, just to kind of blow some air off your lenses. You got to get one of these if you don't have one. Now also in here, they've included some nice storage options on this pack, on the back pocket here, which I really, really like. So there's a few different things I have in here. In this bottom pocket here, I just have all my batteries for my cameras. Really nice to have those down here. And then in here, I've got a memory card wallet, which has my memory cards in it. Super nice. I've got quite a few extra memory cards, which I never really use when I'm in the field, but they don't really weigh anything, so you can never have too many. I've got 6 extras right now. Always nice, too, if you see somebody in the field that needs a memory card. I've got a couple cheap ones in here I can just give away if somebody needs one. And on this front pocket here, you do have the option to put your memory cards in these little slots, but I do not have mine in there right now. I could probably transfer them there, but I like them here for the time being. So last thing that I frequently have in my pack here is my drone, and I don't use it a whole heck of a lot, but when I do use it, I do really enjoy it. So the drone that I'm shooting with here is the DJI Mavic 2, the Pro 2, I believe is what it's called. Really nice drone. It's pretty small and portable. Takes nice 20 megapixel photos. Flies really well even in the wind. It's got decent battery life, so can't complain. Really like this one. It does take really, really quality photos. I've got a couple of extra batteries that go with it. Of course, I've got the controller, and I've got these 3 different circular polarizers and ND filters. So that's what I've got for the drone. And really the last thing that I'm carrying with me is the GoPro that this video is being filmed on. It is a GoPro Hero 9. Really love the GoPro for taking high quality videos. I pretty much shoot all of my YouTube stuff in the field here with a GoPro, and I really like it. I've got a little Rode shotgun mic on the top that works really well. I also have a little Rode mic that I can clip onto my shirt as well. So all different sorts of stuff for creating that kind of content in the field. Alrighty guys, well I hope this video was helpful. You guys got a little glimpse of the gear that I use. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them below. I'd be more than happy to answer them. If you want any more in-depth product review of any product that I use here, feel free to let me know. Like I said, I'm going to include as many links as I can find down below for you guys to purchase these items. And again, everything that I'm showing you here today is things that have been tried and tested, things that I absolutely love and things that I would recommend. But if you do have specific questions about one or more of the items that I showed, please feel free to ask them in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for checking out this week's video. Really appreciate it. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and of course leave a comment. It really helps me to continue to make these videos for you guys. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.